An actor best known for playing the title role in the Tarzan TV series has died.
The Wailers with Bob Marley in the 1960s has died in Kingston, Jamaica at the age of 73.
After saying sad and shocking goodbyes to the many stars who died in the past year, we are once again paying our respects after the deaths of more celebrities this year. From the Tarzan icon, Ron Ely, to reggae legend José Manuel strangely found dead in an SUV. Here are 20 celebrities you didn't know died in 2024. Curious to know who else is on the list? Then join us as we reveal their cause of death and the legacies they have left behind. Number 20. Andy Paley. Often regarded as one of the most underrated talents in the American music industry, Andy Paley is known for his collaborations with the Beach Boys. Even with his legacy as a highly respected musician, Andy never achieved the mainstream recognition he deserved. He passed away on November 20th at the age of 72 after a short battle with cancer. He was born in Washington, D.C. in 1951 and grew up in Albany, New York. That is not all. Paley also worked on music for cartoons like SpongeBob SquarePants. Number 19. Quincy Jones. Jones enjoyed a music career spanning over 6 decades. The famous Grammy-winning star died on Sunday, November 3rd, at the age of 91.
Yes, and breaking news this morning, the American music producer Quincy Jones has died aged 91, and we can't really understate how huge this is.
He was born in Chicago, Illinois in 1933. Now, here is something that makes him stand out from most others in his line of work. He produced Michael Jackson's record-breaking album Thriller and other hits like Off the Wall and Bad. Jones also worked on hit songs for Leslie Gore, such as It's My Party and You Don't Own Me, and produced TV shows like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. With 28 Grammy Awards, he is the 3rd highest winner ever. Number 18. Terry Garr. Talented actress. Terry Garr faced a profoundly personal challenge when she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in the late 1980s.
The showbiz world lost a familiar face today. Actress Terry Garr died after a decades-long battle with multiple sclerosis. She was 79. Entertainment reporter George Pinocchio looks back on her memorable career.
Known for her funny roles in films like Tootsie and Young Frankenstein, Garr passed away on October 29th at 79.
Terry Garr, the actress known for her roles in Young Frankenstein and Tootsie, has died.
Garr received an Oscar nomination for Tootsie. She had lots of fans thanks to her offbeat comedy.
She began her career as a dancer, appearing in several Elvis Presley movies and landing minor roles on shows like Batman and Star Trek. Garr's big break came in 1974 with a role in Francis Ford Coppola's The Conversation. Number 17. Phil Lesh. Lesh is a legendary bassist and founding member of the Grateful Dead. He passed away on October 25th at the age of 84.
Founding member of the Grateful Dead and beloved Bay Area resident Phil Lesh has died at the age of 84. Lesh's bass guitar was one of the defining sounds of the Bay Area music scene that took the world by storm in the 60s.
Bob Dylan said Philly Lesh is one of the most skilled bassists you'll ever hear in subtlety and invention. Born on March 15, 1940 in Berkeley, California, Lesh met Jerry Garcia in 1959 and joined his band, the Warlocks, in the early 60s. Along with Bob Weir, Ron Pigpen McKernan, and Bill Kreutzmann, Lesh and Garcia formed the Grateful Dead in 1965. The band became famous worldwide, selling millions of albums. Number 16. Jack Jones. American singer Jack Jones faced a special challenge in his career as he struggled to move beyond the shadow of his famous father, actor and singer Alan Jones, working hard to establish his identity in the music industry. Jones performed the theme song for the TV show The Love Boat and died on October 23rd at 86.
Continuing coverage tonight on the death of entertainer and philanthropist Jack Jones.
News Channel 3 was first to report the news this morning, with Jones passing away last night here in the Valley. The longtime desert resident was 86.
His spokesman, Milton B. Sushin, confirmed to Entertainment Weekly that Jones passed away at 9:17 p.m. at Eisenhower Hospital in Rancho Mirage, California, after fighting leukemia for more than 2 years. Number 15. Linda Obst. Linda Obst passed away on October 22nd at the age of 74 due to chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Born in New York City, Obst began her career as an editor at the New York Times before transitioning into a Hollywood producer. Her first significant film was Flashdance in 1983, a project she helped develop. In her memoir, Hello, He Lied, she shared that she had to fight to keep her name on the film, ultimately receiving the lowest possible credit as an associate producer. Obst joined forces with Deborah Hill, forming one of Hollywood's first all-female production companies, Hill Obst Productions. Number 14, Ron Ely. Ron Ely played another version of Tarzan in the TV show Tarzan from 1966 to 1968. He passed away in Santa Barbara County, California, at age 86.
We begin today by saying goodbye to TV's Tarzan. Actor Ron Ely has died at the age of 86.
Unfortunately, after his role as Tarzan, Ely said he often found himself given the same type of role, which he never found funny. He appeared in popular TV series like Father Knows Best, Wonder Woman, Fantasy Island, Louisiana, Law, and Hawkeye. Sadly, in 2019, Ely's family faced a tragedy when his wife, Valerie Lundeen Ely, was killed by their son, Cameron Ely. Police later shot Cameron. Number 13, Sarah Dancer. Dancer was a wildlife presenter and filmmaker known for her work on survival and wildlife documentaries, including her role in the reality series Naked and Afraid. She sadly passed away on October 22nd, 2 days after a car accident.
TV star who died yesterday after a car crash in Kahala on Sunday. 34-year-old Sarah Dancer was a master diver, boat captain, survivalist, and self-described pirate.
The 34-year-old, originally from Colorado, was a passenger in a car driven by a friend in the Kahala area of Honolulu when the driver lost control and crashed into a parked car, as reported by Hawaii News Now. Dancer had lived in Hawaii for the past 12 years. Number 12, Aaron Kaufman. Aaron Kaufman was a writer, director, and producer. He passed away on October 17th at the age of 51. He was best known for co-directing the Emmy-nominated documentary Superpower alongside Sean Penn. Originally intended as a light dramatization of Volodymyr Zelensky's rise from comedian to president of Ukraine, the documentary took a severe turn when Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022. In addition to his work on Superpower, Kaufman wrote and directed the 2016 thriller Urge, featuring Pierce Brosnan. We are about to reveal one of the saddest deaths on our list today. Keep watching to find out. Number 11, Liam Payne. Liam Payne was a pop singer and a member of the popular boy band One Direction. Tragically, he passed away on October 16th at the age of 31 after falling from the third floor of a hotel in Buenos Aires. He had been in Argentina to attend a concert by his former bandmate, Niall Horan. Payne was born in 1991 and became a part of One Direction after he, Horan, Harry Styles, Zayn Malik, and Louis Tomlinson all auditioned separately for the British reality show The X Factor in 2010. The band released 5 albums over 6 years. Number 10, José Manuel. José Manuel Carbajal Zaldivar, the Cuban reggaeton artist known as El Tager, passed away on October 10th at the age of 37 after being shot in the head in Miami. Zaldivar was found in an SUV on October 3rd, severely injured, and was quickly taken to the hospital. Despite undergoing surgery and being placed on life support, he could not recover from his injuries. A suspect has been arrested and charged with second-degree murder in connection with the incident. Zaldivar was known for his contributions to the Cubaton genre, combining reggaeton and traditional Cuban rhythms. Number 9, Cissy Houston. Grammy-winning gospel and soul singer Cissy Houston left the world on October 7th at the age of 91. Born Emily Drinkard in 1933, she was a founding member of the Drinkard Sisters, a family soul group and of Sweet Inspirations. This girl group provided backing vocals for artists such as Aretha Franklin, Jimi Hendrix, and Elvis Presley. Houston enjoyed a long and successful career, releasing 10 solo albums over 5 decades. She won 2 Grammys and also contributed her voice to films like The Wiz and A View to a Kill. Number 8, Kris Kristofferson. The iconic country singer and celebrated actor passed away on September 28th at the age of 88 in Maui, Hawaii. Kristofferson released 18 studio albums and appeared in several films and TV shows. His songs earned him 3 Grammy Awards. He also received an Academy Award nomination and won a Golden Globe. Chris starred in the 1976 film A Star is Born. The movie was a major hit, becoming the second highest-grossing film of the year. Kristofferson also won a Golden Globe for Best Actor, an Oscar, and a Grammy. Number 7. John Ashton. Ashton starred as Sergeant John Taggart in the Beverly Hills Cop movies. He passed away peacefully on September 26th at his home in Fort Collins, Colorado, at the age of 76. His manager confirmed the news to Entertainment Weekly. Ashton was born John David Ashton on February 22, 1948, in Springfield, Massachusetts. He had a long and varied acting career, accumulating over 200 film and television credits. Some of his early roles included the Oscar-winning comedy Breaking Away and the 1986 film King Kong Lives. Number 6. Drake Hogestyn. Drake Hogestyn is the longtime star of Days of Our Lives. He died at 70 following a battle with pancreatic cancer. Born on September 29, 1953 in Fort Wayne, Indiana, Hogestyn's acting career began when he was selected among 29 finalists in a Columbia Pictures talent search that initially drew 75,000 applicants. He made his first appearance on Days of Our Lives on January 24, 1986, as a mysterious character known only as the Pawn. Over time, his character evolved into John Black, a beloved hero who served as a spy, mercenary, police officer, private investigator, and secret agent. Number 5. Maggie Smith. Maggie Smith, the celebrated British-American theater and film figure, passed away on September 27th at the age of 89. Born in 1934, Smith was a legendary actress known for her powerful performances. She made a lasting impact with roles in productions such as Othello, Private Lives, and Antony and Cleopatra. Her film career was equally memorable, featuring in movies like Gosford Park and Clash of the Titans. Smith appeared in 7 of the 8 Harry Potter films. Over her career, she earned 6 Oscar nominations, winning 2 Academy Awards. Number 4. Catherine Crosby. Do you remember the late legendary Bing Crosby? Catherine Crosby is an actress and is widow. She passed away on September 20th at the age of 90. She died of natural causes at her home in Hillsborough, California, surrounded by her family. Born in Texas in 1933, she began her acting career in 1953, using the stage name Catherine Grant. In 1954, while writing a newspaper column, she interviewed Bing Crosby on the White Christmas set. The two married in 1957, and Catherine stepped back from her acting career, choosing to focus on her family. Number 3. David Graham. David Graham is a celebrated British actor known for his voice roles in Doctor Who and Peppa Pig. Graham passed away on September 20th at the age of 99. Born in London in 1925, Graham served as a radar mechanic in the Royal Air Force during World War II. After the war, he relocated to the United States, where he pursued acting studies in New York. He started his television career in the early 1950s, but his distinctive voice gained prominence in the 1960s. We are about to reveal one of the most shocking celebrity deaths so far this year, so stay with us. Number 2. Emily Gold. Emily Gold contested on America's Got Talent as part of the Los Osos high school dance team during the show's 19th season. Tragically, Emily passed away on September 14th at the age of 17. The San Bernardino County Sheriff Coroner Department confirmed that she died by suicide. The dance team impressed audiences with performances set to music by Usher, the Black Eyed Peas, and other artists during the auditions and quarterfinals, but they were eliminated from the competition at that stage. Number 1. Tommy Cash. Respected country musician Tommy Cash passed away on September 13th at the age of 84. The Johnny Cash Museum announced his death. Born on April 5, 1940, in Dyess, Arkansas, Cash joined the military at a young age. After his time in the Army, he played alongside Hank Williams Jr. and landed a recording contract with Musicor Records in 1965. His biggest success came with the 1969 hit, 6 White Horses, a tribute to John and Robert Kennedy, including Martin Luther King Jr. What do you wish to tell these legends, and what are your words to their families and friends still hurting from their deaths? Who is this Jewish Messiah, and what is his name that has been hidden from us for decades? Stay with us to find out. Just recently, a widely respected rabbi made a surprising statement that Benjamin Netanyahu will reveal the name of the Jewish Messiah soon, and the Israeli Prime Minister did. This revelation has made people across the globe increasingly intrigued and curious, and even making guesses of their own. While the details of the rabbi's claim are still unclear, it has gotten everyone talking about who the Messiah in Judaism is.
Sometimes when we look throughout history and we follow different events that have happened, we question, why did this all take place?
Seeing as many Jewish beliefs do not recognize Jesus Christ as the Messiah. Before we get into that, what does the Judaism religion believe about the Messiah? In Judaism, the Messiah is a special figure believed to bring about a time of peace, prosperity, and spiritual redemption for the Jewish people. According to Jewish teachings, the Messiah, also known as the Mashiach, is expected to fulfill several important roles and tasks. These include restoring the kingdom of Israel, rebuilding the temple in Jerusalem, gathering the Jewish exiles, and ushering in an era of universal peace and harmony. The concept of the Messiah is deeply rooted in Jewish tradition and scripture. Throughout history, Jews have eagerly awaited the coming of the Messiah, believing that he will be a descendant of King David and possess extraordinary wisdom, leadership, and righteousness. The Messiah is seen as a figure who will deliver the Jewish people from oppression, exile, and suffering, and establish God's kingdom on earth. In Jewish belief, the coming of the Messiah is associated with the fulfillment of numerous prophecies found in the Hebrew Bible or Tanakh. These prophecies describe a future golden age when God's justice and mercy will reign supreme, and all nations will recognize and worship the one true God. The Messiah is seen as the ultimate redeemer who will bring about the ultimate redemption of Israel and humanity. Despite the widespread belief in the coming of the Messiah, there is considerable debate and diversity of opinion within Judaism regarding the specifics of his arrival and identity. While some Jews interpret the prophecies literally and await the appearance of a single divine figure, others interpret them symbolically and believe that the Messianic age will be ushered in gradually through human effort and divine providence. Throughout history, various individuals have been hailed as potential Messianic figures by different Jewish communities, but none have been universally accepted as the Messiah, and the search for the true Messiah continues to be a central theme in Jewish theology and eschatology. Besides the mention of the Messiah in Judaism, this spiritual figure was mentioned numerous times in the Christian Bible. In the Bible, particularly in the Old Testament, there are multiple references to the Messiah, a figure of great importance in Jewish and Christian beliefs. The term Messiah originates from Hebrew and means anointed one or chosen one. Throughout the Old Testament, various prophecies and descriptions outline the qualities and roles expected of the Messiah. One of the key characteristics of the Messiah is that he is seen as a savior who will bring redemption and deliverance to his people. In the book of Isaiah, for example, there are prophecies foretelling the coming of a righteous king from the line of David who will establish peace and justice on earth. This future ruler is often referred to as the Messiah or the Anointed One. That's not all. The Messiah is depicted as a figure of great wisdom, righteousness, and compassion. In the book of Jeremiah, it is prophesied that the Messiah will reign as a righteous king and execute justice and righteousness in the land. He is described as a ruler who will govern with integrity and fairness, providing protection and security to his people. The Messiah is even often associated with the concept of salvation and eternal life. In the book of Daniel, there are visions of a divine figure who will come to establish an everlasting kingdom and deliver his people from oppression and suffering.
I'm here to tell you that we are close to the end. Very, very close.
This future ruler is portrayed as a mighty warrior who will triumph over evil and establish God's kingdom on earth. Besides, the Messiah is believed to be a descendant of King David, as foretold in various prophecies throughout the Old Testament. The book of Psalms, as another example, contains numerous references to a future king who will arise from the line of David and rule with justice and righteousness. In the book of Zechariah, chapter 9, verse 9, there is a prophecy about the Messiah entering Jerusalem, which says the daughter of Zion should rejoice greatly, and the daughter of Jerusalem should shout as they behold the king coming unto them. It also says the king is just, and having salvation and riding upon a horse, and upon a colt, the foal of a horse. This verse describes the Messiah as a humble and righteous king who brings salvation to his people. Then, the book of Psalms contains several verses that talk about the Messiah and his qualities. Psalm 72, for instance, describes the Messiah as a king who will reign with righteousness and justice, bringing peace and prosperity to his kingdom. Psalm 110 also talks about the Messiah as a priest-king who will rule from the right hand of God, subduing his enemies and establishing his authority over the nations. Because people love to claim to be who they're not or contradict others' views on a certain topic, there are religious beings besides Jesus who have been called the Messiah in the past. A few of them will shock you, apart from Jesus, who has also been called the Messiah in the past. From ages past, there have been individuals besides Jesus who have been regarded as messianic figures by different groups of people. These figures arose in various cultural and religious contexts, and were often seen as leaders or deliverers who could bring about significant change or salvation. One person we have to mention is Simon Bar Kokhba, a Jewish leader who led a rebellion against Roman rule in Judea in the 2nd century CE. During this time, he was hailed as the Messiah by some Jewish followers who believed he would deliver them from Roman oppression and restore the Jewish kingdom. But the rebellion ultimately failed, and Simon Bar Kokhba was killed, leading to the dispersion of the Jewish population and the destruction of the Second Temple in Jerusalem. In the 17th century, Sabbatai Zevi, a Jewish mystic and preacher, gained a following as a messianic figure among Jews in the Ottoman Empire. Sabbatai Zevi claimed to be the long-awaited Messiah and garnered widespread support among Jews who were hopeful for redemption and the restoration of the Jewish homeland. But his movement faced opposition from rabbinic authorities, and Sabbatai Zevi was eventually forced to convert to Islam by the Ottoman Sultan, leading to disillusionment among his followers. In the early 20th century, Marcus Garvey, a Jamaican political leader and activist, founded the Universal Negro Improvement Association, simply called UNIA, and promoted the idea of a black messiah who would lead people of African descent to liberation and empowerment. Garvey himself was hailed as a messianic figure by some of his followers, who viewed him as a visionary leader fighting against racial oppression and discrimination. While Garvey's movement considerably impacted the civil rights and black nationalist movements, he did not fulfill the messianic expectations placed upon him. Shocking, right? In the 20th and 21st centuries, various individuals have been proclaimed messianic figures by their followers within religious and spiritual movements. These figures often emerge in times of social upheaval or spiritual revival and attract followers who believe in their ability to bring about spiritual enlightenment, social justice, or personal salvation. But the extent of their influence and the validity of their claims remain subjects of debate and interpretation within their respective communities. Simon Bar Kokhba wasn't the only figure believed to be the Messiah. Have you heard of Simon of Perea, who lived during the 1st century BCE in the region of Judea? He was a formerly enslaved person who proclaimed himself as a messianic king and led a rebellion against the Roman Empire. Simon's followers believed he would liberate the Jewish people from Roman rule and establish an independent kingdom in Judea. But the Romans swiftly crushed his revolt, and Simon was killed, extinguishing any hopes of his messianic reign. We can't not mention Moses of Crete, who emerged in the 5th century CE as a messianic claimant within the Jewish community. Moses of Crete declared himself to be the successor to Moses of the Bible and promised to lead the Jewish people out of exile and back to the Promised Land. His followers fervently believed in his messianic mission, but his movement ultimately ended in tragedy when he led them to the island of Crete, where many of his followers perished in a failed attempt to part the sea. In the 17th century, a Jewish mystic named Sabbatai Zevi gained a large following as a messianic figure in the Ottoman Empire. Sabbatai Zevi claimed to be the long-awaited Messiah and attracted widespread support among Jews who yearned for redemption and the restoration of the Jewish homeland. But his movement faced opposition from traditional Jewish authorities, and he was eventually arrested by the Ottoman authorities and forced to convert to Islam, leading to disillusionment among his followers. I bet you didn't see that coming. During the 18th century, a Russian peasant named Emelian Pugachev emerged as a Messianic leader during the Pugachev Rebellion against the Russian Empire. Pugachev claimed to be the true Tsar of Russia and promised to overthrow the oppressive regime and establish a more just and equitable society. His rebellion gained significant support from disenfranchised peasants and Cossacks, but was ultimately crushed by the Russian military, and Pugachev was captured and executed. In more recent times, figures such as Haile Selassie, the Emperor of Ethiopia, have been regarded as messianic figures by followers of the Rastafari movement. Rastafarians believe that Selassie is the reincarnation of Jesus Christ and the Messiah who will lead the African diaspora to freedom and redemption. Although Selassie himself rejected these claims and identified as a devout Christian, his status as a messianic figure within the Rastafari movement continues to be a subject of reverence and controversy. At this point, we have many options of names the Messiah bears. Now, for a plot twist. While these religious figures were adored by many, we can't deny the fact that Jesus of Nazareth is more widely recognized as the true Messiah. Throughout the Gospel, Jesus is depicted as performing miracles, teaching with authority, and fulfilling various prophecies from the Old Testament, all validating his identity as the Messiah. In the book of Matthew, chapter 16, verses 13 to 20, Jesus asked his disciples who people say that the Son of Man is. The disciples responded with various answers, indicating that some people think Jesus is John the Baptist, Elijah, Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. Then Jesus asked his disciples directly who they say he is. Simon Peter answered that he is the Messiah, the Son of the living God. Jesus blessed Peter for this confession of faith that flesh and blood did not reveal that to him, but his Father in heaven did. This special moment marked the recognition of Jesus' true identity as the Messiah by one of his closest disciples. You might find it hard to believe that even though the Bible recognizes Jesus as the Messiah, some Jewish leaders claim he isn't. Honestly, that's not very supporting, seeing as the figures we previously talked about claimed they were the Messiah. One reason why some Jewish leaders and prophets do not accept Jesus as the Messiah is rooted in different understandings of Messianic prophecy. According to traditional Jewish belief, the Messiah is expected to fulfill specific criteria outlined in the Hebrew Bible, including the restoration of the Jewish people to their homeland, the rebuilding of the Temple in Jerusalem, and the establishment of universal peace and justice. Since Jesus did not accomplish these tasks during his lifetime, some Jewish leaders and prophets do not recognize him as the Messiah. Historical events and theological differences have also contributed to the divergence of opinions among Jewish leaders and prophets regarding Jesus' messianic status. Take, for example, the rejection of Jesus by the majority of Jewish religious authorities during his time and the subsequent development of Christianity as a separate religious tradition have influenced Jewish perspectives on Jesus as the Messiah. Throughout history, Jewish communities have maintained their distinct religious identity and interpretation of Scripture, leading to varying views on Jesus' role in Jewish eschatology. Oh, we're not done yet. There's more to it. Theological disagreements between Judaism and Christianity regarding the nature of the Messiah have also shaped Jewish attitudes toward Jesus. While Christianity views Jesus as both human and divine, Judaism emphasizes the monotheistic belief in a singular divine God and rejects the concept of any Messiah. Because of this, Jewish leaders and prophets who listen to traditional Jewish theology may not accept Jesus as the Messiah due to theological differences between Judaism and Christianity. Today, discussions about Jesus' identity as the Messiah continue to raise diverse opinions and interpretations among Jewish leaders and prophets. While some are adamant on traditional views that reject Jesus as the Messiah, others have been reconsidering their past beliefs and starting to include Jesus in Jewish faith and tradition. So the question now is, who really is the Messiah? Jewish leaders who don't see Jesus was the Messiah have their personal reason, involving things Jesus himself has said that contradict Jewish faith. That brings us to the question, what are the things Jesus said or believed that the Judaism religious and practice doesn't agree with? Jesus' teachings and beliefs often differed from mainstream Judaism of his time, leading to theological and doctrinal distinctions between Christianity and Judaism. One major aspect is Jesus' claim to be the Son of God and the Messiah, which is not accepted in traditional Judaism. While Judaism acknowledges the concept of a Messianic figure who will bring about the redemption of Israel, it does not recognize Jesus as the one who fulfills this role. Jesus' teachings regarding salvation and the nature of God also differ from Jewish teachings. Jesus views the importance of faith in him as the means of salvation, whereas Judaism typically emphasizes adherence to the Torah, which is the Jewish law, and obedience to God's commandments as the path to righteousness and redemption. Don't forget, Jesus also challenged certain interpretations of the Torah and Jewish legal traditions upheld by the religious authorities of his time. He criticized the Pharisees and other religious leaders for their hypocrisy and emphasized the importance of inward righteousness and sincerity of heart over outward observance of religious rituals. We would love for you to share them with us in the comments. If you enjoyed watching the video, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, click the following video on your screen, and you will enjoy it.